Nation along with Mark. I'm Lyle, and Mark, we're going to have a great show tonight. We got a few things to get out of the way first. Number one, you had a much better day today than I did.
I I can agree with that. I went fishing, Lyle. What did you do?
I took insulation foam out of the bottom of my boat, and what a pain in the ass it was.
The only thing worse than that would be siding a house.
That's what Clutch done.
Oh, that's right. Clutch said he was doing that today.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to tell you, it's out there in the sun, and I got the floor out the other day, and I worked all day yesterday. I had one rivet that I couldn't get out, and I finally just busted that rivet out, and I got one section about 10 or 12 inches wide and 24 inches long, 10 inches deep. And I got that one section pretty much done yesterday. I finished that up and done one section behind it. And then there is a 6.5 foot, 20-inch one that goes the whole back part of the boat. And I figured out a way to get it out. The neighbor come over and introduced me to a tool that I already had and wasn't using. And it made it go much better. But I still got to get all the little pieces that's hung to everything around there. But I think I got a grandson that needs to help me do that.
I
But
think that's a good idea. And I know you're doing this just for our trip to Mendota, aren't you, Lyle? You want to get it done for
no,
that.
I'm doing it because every time I launch a boat, it's so heavy in the back with all that water in there. Water comes over the
Well,
back.
I mean, that's the target date, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm trying to, but I'm going to have to slack up a little bit. I can't hardly walk tonight.
Yeah. You need to hire some labor to help you out with
I
that, maybe.
guess so. Now, with that being said, you had a much better day than that.
Yeah, speaking of Mendota, I was up in Madison today. Mendota is part of the Madison Channel Lakes, and so I was looking at some maps up there, getting ready for our trip, and I'm like, hey, this lake looks pretty interesting. It's the one just on the other side of Madison. So I started doing some research and stuff, and apparently it's a pretty good crappie lake. So I'm like, hey, we'll go out there. I went out there and I scanned with my sonar for quite some time, and ended up tripping across a whole bunch of them. Caught a big old nasty snot rocket pike.
But it was
At
a
about
good one.
32 inches, which was fun on 4 pound test and a crappie jig.
That's a
Um,
great fish.
I got a cooler full of crappie to fillet here when we're done or first thing in the morning. And I already got a couple of invites to go back out again either tomorrow or Monday. I think I'm gonna wait till Monday. I just got a lot of stuff to do.
Now, you're talking about crappie fillets?
Yes, I'm gonna fillet both sides. Don't start that.
Okay.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, I did a video a while back, and I back in the day before, well, when I was a lot more nervous than I am these days, and I left the side of a crappie off, so I only did one fillet on this crappie, and I've been hearing about it almost as much as the 25-0 loss to Dockery. So there's a little backstory there, but yeah, I'm gonna get all of them. So, what do you say? I give everybody a shout out in chat, Lyle.
I think that's a great idea.
I see. Hey, there's tall Betty, my sister. A couple crosses fishing. What's up, Betty? Ashley Brady's in the house. Buck Williams, how you doing, Buck? Bugman 22. How you doing, Bug? There's channel member Dan Thompson. There's Michelle from It's All Mine. There's our buddy, the angelic James Alba. Glad he's feeling better. That's
No kidding.
there's Justin's Fishing Fetish. What's up, Justin? There's channel member Joe Buck 66. How you doing, Joe? Lance McCouguy. What's going on, Lance? There's Nubby's catfishing. Parker Pursuit in the house. I know he went fishing today. He sent me a picture of a bunch of bluegill and some crappie today that he went fishing.
He
There's
didn't send me no
over.
picture.
What?
He didn't send me no picture.
Oh, I don't know what to do. Would you like me to forward it to you?
No.
Jerry, you better send him that picture. He's feeling left out. There's Troy over at Real and Virtual Outdoors, and there's our buddy Josh over at the Weekend Angler. Make sure you check out Josh's short tip Saturday when he gives you just a tip every Saturday. You're a friend of his, aren't you, Clutch?
Yes, sir. That's a good buddy.
Josh is good people, man. I can't wait to see
He
him.
is. He's a good dude.
You got to watch yourself around him, though.
Yeah.
That's what you're not the only one that told me that.
You got to keep your head on a swivel when you're around Josh. Uh, uh, no less he's good people. Hell of a fisherman. He's got a lot of content. And
He
congratulations,
does.
Josh, on that 10,000 subscribers that he got just here
Absolutely.
a
That's
little while
awesome.
ago.
Hell yeah, congrats.
There's Ashley Brady. How you doing, Ashley? Oh Lord, a Josh buddy. I am nervous. So, Clutch, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally born and raised in the Chicago, Illinois area. I did
Really?
a lot of yes, sir. I did a lot of traveling growing up. I moved to Tampa, Florida for about 7 years. Did a little bit out there. I really wasn't much of a big fisherman in my kid years. I was just one of them troublemakers, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't
Moved
know
back
anything
to
about that.
You should fit right in.
moved back to Illinois probably back in 2013 in the Kankakee, Illinois area. That's about maybe 30, 40 minutes more south of Chicago.
Mhm.
And then I just got tired of all the violence and all the drugs in that area. So I moved down to southern Illinois in Hamilton County in McLeansboro. And I'm loving it ever since. Haven't looked back.
Good for
But
you.
you stayed in Illinois. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, that's actually what my dad said. He said, well, if you're moving, why don't you just go back out of state? And I'm like, well, I don't want to move too far away from you guys, but I moved about 4.5 hours away from them. But I don't know. I was born and raised in Illinois, and I guess this is my home.
I understand. Where in Chicago about? Where did you live in
Uh,
Chicago when you were here?
it was actually over there by the Dwight area. It was just like a little subdivision by Chicago. It wasn't actually considered downtown Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I'm about as close to Chicago as I need to be.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I've
Same
been. I
here.
go to the city once, maybe twice a year, Lyle. That's it.
I've
I
never
I
been.
go into the city to the pierogi factory to pick up pierogies on the holiday, right?
Yeah.
And then I go down there to catch perch. That's about it. Other than
I
that, I
like
don't
that
really go
too.
there.
I've seen you live down there, and that's pretty cool. I would like to go there sometime, just say I've been there, but I don't want to be anywhere around Dick Durbin. I have a zero tolerance for him, so I don't want to be nowhere near there. But as
I
Chad would
understand.
say,
Yeah, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I've been I'm ready to unleash some political talk, but I don't think this is the time or place.
no, but we can start a show for that.
We could make sure you get your bell notification on Lyle's and my channel. You never know what's going to happen.
That's exactly right.
And
Clutch,
hello to
how'd you,
you, Gabby Goose. How you doing? She said hello to us. So
Clutch, how'd you
Howdy.
get started in fishing tournaments for bass?
Really, it was just a couple buddies. Honestly, I was a real big cat fisherman starting out. I'd hate to call you guys lazy, but cat fishermen are a little bit lazy.
wait a minute.
Um,
Wait a minute. And let's stop it real quick for a couple of reasons. First one is to thank Dee for becoming a channel member. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Lyle's very happy to have you as a channel member. Thank you very much. Two, usually it's the other way around. Usually people are bass fishermen and they get tired of all of that casting and standing on a boat and they want to sit down in a lazy boy
yeah.
and do a little fishing. That ain't no
All the
lie.
millennial seat in my boat.
Well, see, that's actually the good thing about me being a bass fisherman and a cat fisherman. I see both sides to the story.
I'm
So
gonna offend you here. You can always use some of them bass for bait too.
In
that
Illinois,
actually,
you can?
Would you say,
I
Lyle?
do.
You can in Illinois?
It's not. Well,
I think it has to be certain inches or something.
It depends on where you're using it. If there's a size and creel limit, you're not supposed to move fish from water to
Wish
water.
I
So
could.
it's very.
Yeah.
It is a very hot topic here in Illinois. Nobody really knows the law. Like all those crappie I caught today, I'm saving all the heads. I'm going to use them, but I'm going to use them on a river that has no size or creel limit, so I'm able to do it that way.
And I'm not allowed to use bass for bait. I'm not allowed to use any part of a crappie for bait at any time for any reason. And I think that's a bunch of caca.
I
Yeah.
agree. So
Bass.
you say catfishermen are a little lazy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty lazy. But flathead fishermen, man, all you do is catch bait. You do more bait catching than you do.
Right. Honestly, yeah. Well, see, the thing is, my buddy, he actually like when he first, because he's actually the main reason why I got into fishing. I met up with him actually up north, and he was a big catfisherman. He was actually from Burlington, Ohio, well, Iowa, and he was sitting there on the Mississippi River catching big blues and big flatheads. And we took a trip down there one year, and I actually caught my PB catfish. It's probably small to you guys. It was only like 15 and a half pounds, maybe, if that. And that's what really hooked me into catfishing. So ever since then, we've just been catfishing. Biggest catfish I caught was probably a 34-pound blue. I mean, it's still not quite up there, but I'm still working on getting up there. Then I moved down here and I met a couple buddies. Big shout out to Keegan Burt and Alec and Luke Williams. They got me into fishing when I moved down here. They stepped up to the plate and showed me a couple good spots. Other than that, yeah, I just started doing a little bit of online tournaments. I'm thinking about doing a couple in-person tournaments over here at Ren Lake. I just got to start learning the waters more.
Well, you know the right guy. Josh knows Ren Lake real well.
Real well. Speaking
Yeah.
of Ren Lake, Josh, you'd be proud of me. I actually drove 2 hours to fish today. That's probably a third of the way it would take me to get to Ren Lake. I'm working my way down there, bud.
Hey, Maurice Cason has joined us. Avid.
What's up? What's up, Maurice? How you doing, bud? I haven't seen him around. Hopefully he's well. If not, let us know. We'll make sure to pray for you. And there's your best friend right there, Missy Kennedy.
Yep, Avid's made it in. Let's see, you already said hello. There's Matt with Want to Be Outdoors.
There's Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Yeah,
if you want to get on some real big catfish, right. Here is the guy you want to talk to. Jerry, I'll put
Parker
you on
Pursuits.
He knows where they're at.
He's a hell of a fisherman, even though our buddy Rob Chance tells us that he's got a horseshoe somewhere.
Yeah. He's mentioned that to me a time or two.
Now, was that the feller that was winning the tournament?
Yeah.
Parker Pursuits. Yeah.
Parker's the guy who just kind of annihilated everybody. He could have.
Yeah, I actually. Go ahead.
He could have just wrapped it up after about 50 of those bass or 50 pounds of that bass and called it a day.
I actually just started following him on TikTok, and I've been watching some of his content. He makes some pretty good content as well.
Jerry does, definitely.
I'm not going to get into the TikTok thing tonight. I've already said enough.
So what is it about tournament fishing that you like so much that you've been doing it so often?
I want to say the competitiveness, but then again, I'm not real big of a competitive person. I'm just out there for the experience and just for the hell of it, honestly. I don't really give two craps about a payout. I'd want the trophy more than anything, you know.
I agree. You can show
that. Yes.
On. Really? Welcome, buddy.
What's going on, Alex? How you doing? Yeah, you know, that money gets spent usually on fuel for the boat or fuel to get the way you're fishing. But you got them bragging rights over your buddies. They never go away.
Money don't last forever, but that trophy will.
You can take that trophy and you can message Josh, just like we're talking now, and hold it up and say, "Look, Josh, you got one of these."
Can you do a do-it-yourself project on making a wall mount for me?
Oh man, that's funny.
Even if there isn't a tournament, like I know when we all meet up to go do some of that channel catfishing up in Wisconsin, it's like an unsaid tournament that whole week.
That's right.
We're all going for the big fish, all going for those bragging rights, but we're always having fun with it. So.
Right, just out there always having a good time.
So what kind of bass are you turning in? What are your bags looking like?
Well, my biggest bag I actually probably ever caught was just only about 18 pounds.
Respectable.
During the online tournament, we kind of go by inches. My biggest inch bag was probably a little over 100 inches. It was maybe like 105 and a half, roughly, give or take. Other than that, yeah, I catch a big fish, but not big enough to win anything.
Do you have any hopes to get in on a pro boat as a co-angler or something anytime soon?
It's been a dream. It's been a dream, but then again, I don't really want to do like them pro circuits or going to the Bassmaster Classic or anything because I just feel like that takes away all the fun in the fishing. To me,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really look at it as a competitive sport. I look at it as more as an experience, you know?
I know all the guys I know that are actual tournament fishermen. Not that you're
Yeah,
not, but the guys that do the traveling type fishing, the stuff that Lyle was
right,
involved in for a long time.
Long
Not
time.
only are they awesome fishermen, but they're diehard competitors. Like
right.
I know my buddy Eric B, he goes by. He did co-angling for 2 years, and now he's finally got his own boat on the MLF circuit. And every time I talk to him, he's like in a different part of the country fishing. So it's like
Right on.
it never ends for him.
You have to
See,
like
I'd
to
love to hang
travel to
out
do
with a
that.
couple of them guys.
You really have to like to travel to do that.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go do a little fishing on 2 occasions with Eric, and he plumb wore me out. That was a long day. That kid can fish like a machine.
And
I
that's what
imagine.
they are. They're a
Yep.
machine because that's their job. They have to work at it to be good at it.
Do you have any fishing leagues in your area? Any club leagues, anything like that?
I actually do. Over there at the Lake of Egypt. My buddy, he actually ties his own jigs. It's called Big Sack Baits. Big huge shout out to him. Actually, he's actually one of my sponsors for this tournament.
Very good.
He actually hosts a couple circuits over there on Lake of Egypt, but I just can't quite remember the name of it. I'd have to get back with you on that one. But he does host a couple. Him and his father does.
We have a muskie league here. We got a smallmouth league, and I know we got a bass fishing league. We also got a
Yeah.
couple of guys who run catfish tournaments and stuff too. I just never got into the tournament thing. First off, I'd need
Yeah.
a heck of a bigger bait tank and a boat to carry said bait tank to do any catfish tournaments. So
Yeah, I only got a small little 25-gallon live well. I need to upgrade mine too.
Just don't go too big. A lot of boats are not rated for
Right.
big live wells, and you
Well,
have
I'm actually my boat's rated for a 25, but I'm thinking about putting a 40 on it.
just have to be careful not to overweight it because
Right,
you get
yeah.
yourself in trouble. Water's heavy. People don't realize the water's 8 pounds per
It is.
pound.
It
So
is.
there's Chadwick. Hey, buddy.
what's going on, Chad? How you doing, bud? Good show. I think me and Chad may be co-hosting a tournament coming up here soon. I need to get the details in, but that'll be cool to be on screen with my buddy Chad since he never invites me on his show. I think it's because he's afraid I'm going to end his stream.
Really? Let's see.
Yeah.
Did that happen once?
I don't know. It might. You'd think it happened twice.
Oh man, I would never say that.
Parker Pursuit says Lake Egypt has excellent bass. Is an excellent bass and crappie lake.
I'm pretty sure Josh would say the same thing.
I watched that 3-pound crappie from Lake Egypt. I know he lives on that lake. He's a guide over there too, and he does pretty good. But I've seen bigger fish come off a Rend Lake, to be honest. So, do you do any crappie fishing at all?
I sure do. I love crappie fishing.
Yeah, me too.
I love crappie eating.
That's
Same here. Bluegill, crappie, walleye, catfish, everything.
That's what I'm talking about. Bluegill and crappie, man.
Oh, there's just something else, man. Bluegill,
They are.
crappie.
They're the best.
Especially get a nice little 10-inch bluegill.
Yeah. Just speaking of that, Mark, we do have the decals in for 1, 2, and 3-pound crappie. A 1-pound bluegill. If anybody catches those, let us know. And we have the Panfish Nation decals with crappie and bluegill on. So
I want to get I want to get a 1-pounder this year for both of those. How big's a 1-pound bluegill got to be, Lyle? Any idea?
1 pound.
Well, I mean, what are we talking? Are we
I'd
talking
guess
like 12-inch bluegill or what?
No, I'd
that
say
probably.
10
I'd
and a
guess
half.
anywhere between 10 to 12 inches, honestly.
10 and a half, I think will do it, I believe.
I catch
If it's
them in the
big, you know.
9-inch range here. Once the weather starts warming up for a little while, I got a spot that's got some really, really big like bull males in it, but I don't think it doesn't feel like a pound, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'd like to take my scale next time I'm out there and see
Yeah.
what they get an idea.
I got a bathroom scale you can borrow.
That'll work too. I got a one of those I can bring a kitchen scale with me too. It's what I use for postage when I'm sending out all my stickers. Well, not the stickers, but the hats and stuff. So
When I was doing Josh's bass tournament, my scale broke about 2 days prior to the tournament, so I had to make ends meet, and I had to grab my mother-in-law's bathroom scale, and we had to use that to weigh all my fish. So that's why I had to say that.
Chadwick, for shame.
it depends. Do the chickens come off of one of Dockery's chickens, or do the
Better
feathers come off?
not have. The feathers better not come off one of Katie's chickens.
Katie will run you down.
Yeah, after she beats Dockery for showing them to you.
And since we're on the topic of bluegill, I want to remind everybody that the Panfish Nation Championship Series starts April 30th on my channel. We still got room for, I think, one more competitor. The rules are stated on the Facebook channel. Pretty much it's a numbers tournament. If you're in the top 2, you proceed to the championship. If not, you can choose to fish the next week or the next tournament date and try your luck again. Try to get in there. It should be a real fun
How
time.
many tournaments are there to qualify in?
Let's see. You got mine, Chad's, Josh's, and Dockery. So that's 4.
Right.
I think.
And you can enter all of them until you qualify.
You go ahead and send me some more details on it.
We can do that. I'm sure Josh will talk you into it. He might have you come up and fish on his.
Okay.
We'd love to have you involved with it along with everybody else. And if we get enough entries, Mark, we'll go to the green wheel.
The green wheel. Do we have any luck talking Mike Greenwell into getting in on this?
I tried to shame him into it, but I don't think I made it. Oh man,
Maurice might have been gone for a little while, but his passion for being Chad's number 1 troll has not died. That's for sure.
That's awesome. Oh man.
And I think Avid just had asked Josh on a date. Avid said, "Josh, what are you doing this weekend?"
Oh,
Matt says, "I'd enter if Mark liked me as much as Chad." Who says I didn't like you?
Yeah, as much as Chad is the key to that.
That's kind of a trick question. The numbers tournament might have to get in that. Yeah, Jerry's. That's his cup of tea. Well, let me know if you want to get in. Just send me an email to 1, the number 1, the letter V 1, because I've had that email set up at catfishandcrappie.com, and I'll get you entered. If we get more than the 8 entries, we will be going to the green wheel, just so you guys know. And Chad loves Maurice. So you had mentioned when we were talking about your bags that some of them in inches. Are a lot of the tournaments now moving over to length rather than weight? Or is it
it's just a majority of online tournaments that still do inches. I haven't been to any in-person tournaments that does inches at all, but in my opinion, I'd honestly rather do weight in an online tournament than inches, because you can kind of get some people to cheat. They'll like modify their bump board to a specific length itself, and it won't be the actual length. But I don't know. It is. I mean, just kind of like them walleye. I shouldn't cuss on here, but like them walleye people that got caught up shuffling weight down there.
Not walleye people, just 2 guys that were in there. They're bad name for the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a I forget the name of the guy. He's got a really big YouTube channel. He's got a Lumacraft sponsorship, which would be awesome. Lumacraft, me and Lyle, we're ready to talk, right, Lyle?
That's right.
That's right. And he had that sea decking put in, and there was a actual ruler. You know how they install those on the sea deck, actually put them. He was saying that he got a lot of grief because people didn't believe it was the right length and stuff. So he did a whole video with having a 2 rulers up next to it, and it matched up right on. But
I got a message from a gentleman that would like for us to give away one of the FUCD decals that I have, which stands for Fraternal Union of Catfishing Deplorables. So tonight, well, green screen. Tonight we're going to give away one of those before the show is over. So
That's
be
Lyle
prepared.
keying me to get the wheel ready, right, Lyle?
That's right. That is correct. I keep forgetting about it because I got so much crap on my desk. But my monitor went out last week. My beautiful wife Cindy went and got me a 27-inch curved widescreen.
You do have a curved one?
It is amazing. It's amazing. It's a little taller than the other one, but and brighter. Oh, the new technology is awesome.
I can't even work my iPhone right.
I can't either. Mark can't. He works his all the time. Sometimes he tells me how to work mine. He don't even have a good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to be Lyle's technical support, but he refuses to get an iPhone. So
No, he don't. He gonna have one of them. It's hard. I can't use all the stuff on this one. I'm not gonna learn a new one.
My old lady brought me home an iPhone. Was like, "Hey, you're an iPhone user now." I'm like, "Well, all right, I guess."
Oh yeah, I'm not learning a new one. Like I say, I can't use all the functions on the one I got.
some people like to get other than iPhones, like Galaxies and stuff, so much that they just throw them in the river, Lyle.
I know a guy like that.
I
Two
know
of them, in fact.
three of them.
Well, that's right. Dockery done the same thing. He was a little late. But Katie was proud of him that day. Him and Josh and Chad, you know.
It says, I think my monitor is effective. I was watching the big chop and turned the brightness up, but Chad didn't get any smarter. Wow.
Oh man.
We'll see how that pans out this Monday night on Catfish Weekly.
The question is, did Brian beat Freddie? Oh man. They've been fishing. They fished. I know Chris and Freddie fished all day today. So good for them. Clutch, we was talking about these online tournaments. I understand that you have an upcoming deal for one coming up.
Yeah, it's not a live. Well, it's not a online tournament. It's an actually in-person tournament here at the McLeansboro City Reservoir. It's on May 27th on Memorial Day. I mean, that was the only day that they only allowed me to do it here, so I kind of got to make ends meet. The registration will be at 5 in the morning there at the pavilion. You really can't miss it. It's just right off the main road right there. $50 per person. It's a 2-man team, 100% payout with the $20 big fish pot. But the $20 big fish pot is optional. You can do it with or without. The tournament, it's not a very long one. It's only from, I think I put 6:30 in the morning, and the weigh-in's going to be at 1 or 1:30. So it's not very too long. It's about 6.5 hours, give or take. Top 5 biggest fish. Can't bring a fish under than 14 inches to weigh in. May the best man win. Are you king of the reservoir or what? So time to get it down. Get into business.
There you go.
Sounds like a fun time.
It does sound like a good time. So what made you decide to hold your own tournament? What kind of madness do you got to be going through to do all of that work?
Well,
What's
see,
involved, too?
I'd hate to kind of sound a little cocky right now, but I kind of always took on a leadership role in my whole life. I kind of always like to lead people or, kind of be like a host or an event, something. Yeah, I don't know, just something stupid. But my buddy Brian Fulkerson, he actually was hosting a catfish tournament here at the McLeansboro City Reservoir. And we got in good with each other. We started hanging out and going fishing a lot. And he was like, yeah, there ain't nobody that really hosts bass fishing tournaments out here, and it'd be nice to have one. And I'm like, well, how would I do that? And he said, well, you got to go up to the city and ask. And that's what I did. And they approved me. And here we are.
So you did have to get like a permit to have the tournament with the city.
I did, yes. I actually had to pay $15 as well to do it. So
understand.
Well, that's reasonable enough, though.
yeah, it is.
Now, when you get the permit, do they give you the venue where you can have the weigh-in? Do they let you know where you can hold the tournament?
No, well, actually, practically, when I went into the city meeting, they were like, "So, what are you doing it for? How do you want to do it? When do you want to do it?" Practically, like who, what, when, where, how. When I went in there, practically, there's only one spot where you could do like a picnic area. There's like a little pavilion with picnic tables and whatnot, and that's where all the previous tournament host does all their weigh-ins at. Is at the pavilion right there. We have a crappie tournament actually coming up here in April, I believe. April 16th, I believe it is. We have a crappie tournament coming up. But yeah, everybody does their weigh-ins there. I mean, it ain't no big event that's gonna be like 100 boats here. It's just gonna be like a small little community thing.
No,
You know,
you gotta talk it up. You gotta say it's gonna be the
right.
event to
It's gonna
end
be
all things.
huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's
Gotta be big.
big, big, big. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a takeoff
I mean,
like no other else. So you guys gonna have like the traditional tournament takeoff too?
yep. We're gonna try.
You gonna do a shotgun start, or are you gonna let people out one at a time?
Nah, I'm probably gonna do one at a time.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a safer, depending on
Right.
the size place you're holding it. But
Right.
we let
Yeah.
them out in flights of 5. I let them out in flights of
Yeah.
10. We let them
Yeah.
out all at once. I've done it every way possible you could do it. But my favorite way is to just dump them out there. 50, 60 boats all taking off at the same time is pretty damn special.
It's pretty cool and badass looking, but I'm a big safety guy as well, man.
Good
I
for
don't want
you.
to go out there
Good
and
for
get
you.
anybody
What
hurt.
happens if you
Kinky
got a guy
kids.
in a John boat with like a 40-horse Johnson on out there ready to fish, and you got all these guys with 300 horsepower Mercs and
I'm
you
gonna be
don't
that
know how.
guy.
I always just pull them off the side and say, "Son, you need to stand over here till everybody's gone, and then go." I've
And they're
done it
out
that
there.
way before.
And they're out there. When you were on my show the one day we were looking at those news articles, we were reading about a couple of guys
Yeah,
in a John boat that won the tournament. It happens, but you do
Yeah.
have to. I've seen video of those events, and it's pretty crazy. I know Lyle's
it
been
is.
in a couple of
Oh
them.
yeah. Hey Dave, glad to see you in here, buddy.
Dave's been killing the crappie too. He's been going to town on them.
He has. Him and his son do a really good job. So if you get a chance, check out his page too, because they're live in the morning. Dave will be live in the morning.
Tomorrow morning, if I'm up, I will be there. Check it out.
That's right, Josh. Send it. I had that Monster Cat with that 300 E-Tech on it, and I had that Lumacraft with that 250 SHO on it. You just haul off and let the big dog eat when they drop that flag. It's just like drag racing. You just put her to the floor and let the big dog go.
You know, my friend Violet just got put in a boat with a 250 show on the back of it, and I'm sure that's a great motor. I'm sure it runs like a raped ape, but
It does.
the new ones are uglier than sin. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't care what it looks like. If it's pedal to the metal, you want one to fly. That 300 E-Tech was really fast.
Yeah.
But it like fuel. If you didn't run it wide open, it wasn't bad hard on fuel. But if you run it wide open, you could almost watch the gauge go down.
What's going on, Eric? How you doing? He says he's a little bit late, but he made it. Good to see you.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Well, that sounds like a fun tournament. I hope you get a lot of participation in it, and I hope it all goes well. And guys like the bass that run the bass match, all them guys started out somewhere. You never know how to
that's
turn
true.
out.
Well, see, this is gonna be my first time ever doing it. There's always gonna be room for error, you know. Next year, I could always make it better.
The best thing that I can offer you for running tournaments is to have a core group of people that you trust 100%. And if there's ever a question or you want answers, go to those people and weigh out there what they tell you and find out what works best for you. And be honest with people. Be honest.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Thank you for that.
So how many weeks are you into planning this now?
This is probably I've been planning it every bit of I don't know, last fall.
Okay, so it's been a few months. Would you think
it's
you'd
been
do it
a
again,
while.
or are you gonna wait to decide until after the tournament?
I'm more than likely gonna do it again, even if it's a complete shit show. Like I said, I could always build and make better. you know.
That's
But
good.
I ain't such a quitter like that. If anything goes wrong, yeah, I just try again next year and try and correct my mistake.
That's good outlook. That's a great outlook. You
You had
do.
mentioned crappie tournament. I'm thinking that would be fun.
See, I like the way that they do the crappie tournament, but I don't at the same time because it's so plentiful in there, and they're kind of getting a little overpopulated in our lake. So the biggest ones that you can normally catch are only like 6 to 8 inches, if that. And the whole
You know,
point of
there's
the
a cure.
crappie tournament,
There's a cure for that, and it's doubling the limit and supplying some Crisco to people.
That's
right? Well, see, the whole point of the crappie tournament is to try and kill down the population a little bit because they won't throw the fish back in. They'll take it for fertilizer if they want to let the tournament anglers keep it to eat. But I don't know who wants to eat in a little 5 or 6 inch crappie, you know.
I'd use them for bait.
I'll eat
That's
them.
what I was thinking of.
They're good.
I
Just
mean, they're perfect bait size too. You know, they're just perfect.
Matt wants to know: is there a rod limit on your tournaments, and is it kayaks too, or just boats?
No, there is not a rod limit. You can do boat, kayak, and bank if you choose. I'm doing separate payouts for the boat and for the bank fishermen. Kayaks will be considered a boat team, but then again, they'd have to follow by the bank fishermen's rules, and the bank fishermen's rules is kind of little. I kind of had to make ends meet because I'm not trying to kill any fish during this tournament. I know a bass can't really sit on the 5 gallon bucket for 5 hours in the middle of May, you know. So what I'm doing is if you're a bank fisherman and if you catch a fish, immediately you'd have to come up to the pavilion. I know you're a bank fisherman. I know it's taken out of your time to compete in the tournament and whatnot. But then again, we don't want no dead fish and we don't want to hurt the population into this, you know, body of water because it is actually a gold mine with bass. There's some pretty nice trophy bass in here.
You know, a lot of our online tournaments that we do, we have what's called a Joey. Maybe you could allow that in there and let the anglers have an assigned person to bring their fish in as they're catching it. That might help alleviate, not just take the pressure off the angler, but take the pressure off the fish as well. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I'd actually look into that. That'd actually be a pretty good idea. But same with the kayaks. I know a kayak, they don't got to function in live well, and I don't really want them sitting on a stringer out on the side of the boat getting all up in their way. So they're going to have to be treated as a bank fisherman as well. And as soon as they catch a fish, bring it to weigh in. We'll get it weighed in for you, and then you're able to go back out and continue on with your business. But this reservoir, I mean, it ain't very big. I mean, if you're on a kayak or canoe, you could paddle all across of it in probably about 10 minutes tops.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't very big. But yeah, we're welcoming kayaks, boats, bank fishermen. Bring everybody out, your loved ones, kids. If your kid's under 8 years old, they could be on your team for free, no entry fee for them. They can fish for free and even participate. I'm doing a kid raffle. I got a bunch of kid fishing gears, a bunch of kid little fishing kits. I'm gonna be raffling off to some kids. I have a bunch of shirts getting printed up with a bunch of the sponsors' names on the back of them. And I'm going to be giving them away to the first whoever people sign up for the tournament.
Awesome.
I think I'm getting 10. I believe I'm getting 10 shirts printed up, and the first 10 people that sign up will get a free T-shirt.
Very nice. Very nice.
I put some thought into it, but I'm still learning as the process.
There you go.
Mr. Mike Greenwell, what's going on, Mike? How you doing? He
We're
says
just talking about the green wheel. Mike, have you got in the upcoming tournament that Mark's putting on? If not, you need to go ahead and sign up and be done with it.
all you got to do is email me at the number 1, the letter V, the number 1 at catfishandcrappie.com, and I will enter you in, Mike.
He needs to be in that.
Panfish Nation Championship Series.
Not that he couldn't fish for, he can catch bait, and use it later.
Here's a bass fisherman, the Florida man himself, John from Smallwater Charters. What's going on, John? He's a guy down there in Florida, around the Okeechobee area.
Nice.
Good dude, always full of laughs. He's a big bass fisherman and crappie fisherman too. So
welcome, John.
Yeah, I lived in the Tampa, Florida area.
Oh, you did? Hey, there's Matt. Thank you. Matt put the link up there to the email if you want to get entered in on that. Like I said, that's going to happen April 30th. It was scheduled to happen this Saturday, but we moved it because Daryl and a lot of the people, or Daryl's having his meet and greet this weekend. I hope everybody's having fun and staying safe. But a couple of the people that wanted to get in the tournament were going to that, and this just worked out better for them.
So, Mikey, go ahead and click on that link and take your butt on over there and get entered. If we get enough people, we're going to be pulling from the wheel. You can't get snubbed every time, Mike Greenwell. You just can't.
Oh, and if anybody in chat wants to donate any prizes to any of the tournament days for the winner or people in chat, you can also contact us through any of our methods, whether it's through Facebook or our emails. So
you could even contact James Dockery.
Hmm?
I'm not sure you want to, but you could.
Look at that! Look at the smiles on Mike's face. It looks like he's in.
Is that a yes?
I think that's a yes.
I think it should be. We want Greenwell in there. You seriously doubt the wheel hates me?
Well, that's kind of why we named it the Green Wheel.
That's right. But you need to jump in there, Mike. We'd love to have you, man. You compete against Dockery that way. Oh man! So what else you got going on, Clutch, that we can go over?
I practically pretty sure I covered everything that I'd like to cover besides giving a shout out to all my sponsors, if you don't mind me doing that now.
I do not. Go right ahead and make it happen.
So I'd actually like to give a big, huge shout out to everybody who liked to sponsor my tournament. If it wasn't for without you guys, none of this would have been possible. I'd like to give a big shout out to J&B Handyman. That's actually who I work for. That's my father-in-law. He's based out of Enfield, Illinois. Good man, good quality work, low prices. If you need anything done, hit him up, hit Mark up, and have him hit me up, and I'll send his information over to you. We could probably work you out on a deal. On another one, I'd like to give a big shout out to Blue Line Baits. He's actually from up north in the Chicago area. He makes he's a local jig maker. Killer baits. I mean, killer smallmouth. I mean, you could just rip them up off of his jigs and soft plastics. Another one is the Hippie Chick. She's actually printing out all my shirts. Same with Hoodville Designs. Blackout Bait and Tackle. I'd love to give a big shout out to him. Backwoods Burts, Moan, and more. That's actually one of my best friends that actually got me into bass tournaments. Big Sack Baits is like, as I said before, he's actually a local jig maker as well. He actually hosts a couple circuits there on Lake of Egypt. Good people. He's just a newlywed. He's just got married. He's real nice. I'd like to give a big shout out to TS Hoover Rentals. Also a big shout out to H&S Tree Service, Irvin's Jewelries, that's printing out the awards for me. Trinity Veteran Rods, I'd really want to give a big special thanks to him, with him being a veteran serving for our country, and he's shown a big love for rod building as well as just he gives away free rods to kids and whatnot. And he's just an overall good guy. I'd like to give a big shout out to Meadow Bluff Farms, Mimo's Italian Restaurants. Huge shout out to Josh, the weekend dangler baby. He's actually a good person. He actually helped out. Higginson's Farm, Davis Auto and ATV Repair, Crossfish Artistry. If you ever need a mount, replica, anything, etc., hit up Crossfish and Artistry. He's actually on donating.
I might need that number when I catch that 30-pounder here, that 30-pound channel cat.
Yeah, I could actually hook you up with that, and he's actually giving us a free voucher to be raffled off for the tournament. If you get picked to do the raffle, you will have any replica that could be made from 32 inches and under for free of any fish you want: bass, catfish, bluegill, anything that, as long as it's under 32 inches, you'll. And if you win the raffle, he's giving a voucher for, practically a free mount. Big shout out to State Farm Insurance. We got a local lady here in my hometown. Her name's Lynn Braden. She does State Farm. She actually hooks up some pretty good deals with some car auto insurance. And last but not least, I want to thank you guys, the Panfish Weekly podcast. If it wasn't for you guys on helping me get my name out there and whatnot, like again, none of this would ever happen. I really do appreciate y'all, and I just wanted to say thanks for having me.
No, we're happy to do it, man.
Absolutely. I hate to stop the show, but I got big news.
Okay.
I just received an email from Mike Greenwell himself. He is in.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Mike. I can't wait to be in that. You and me and Dockery, and who else is in it?
Josh and
Josh,
Chad. I got a whole list of them.
Well,
Pork Chop's in it. Robin's in it. I got a bunch of people. We'll trust me.
We'll go into the green wheel.
We'll have a show to do. We'll go over the rules again, and if we need to spin the wheel, we'll spin the wheel, and of course we'll invite everybody up, and we'll just have a good time. So
that sounds like a plan.
I'm getting excited. I actually I've been struggling fishing this whole last couple of weeks here for spring because the weather's been so messed up. Had a good day today. I'm hoping the rest of the summer goes the same way, and I'm excited about this tournament coming up for us. I'm excited for you to have success, Clutch.
Thank you.
And to see Lyle get back into any kind of tournament is going to be an honor and a privilege to watch.
Oh, just got to get that put together, man. I tell you, it's been a struggle, but I waited because the weather was cold. I should have worked in the cold, and but I didn't want to, And now it's nice, and I should be fishing. And what am I doing? Working on a boat. M.R. Duggar, welcome, my friend.
What's up, Mr. Duggar?
Glad to see you in here. I know that there's a lot of online tournaments going on, Clutch. I don't know. Yours is not an online one.
It is not an online tournament. It is an in-person tournament.
And those are
but yeah, I mean, I love the in-person tournaments more than the online tournaments. But then again, I like the online tournaments because I'm not really such a huge crowded person. I like being in crowds of people. I'm a country boy. I don't really like,
The part about the online tournaments that I like most of all, and it can hurt you, but it can help you, is you're competing against guys in Missouri, Illinois,
right,
out east, out west, out north, down south. You never know who you'll draw out against. And especially if you're spinning the wheel because there's a lot of people wanting in it. Mark and I might be fishing against each other, or you might be fishing with a bunch of guys that'll end up on Wheeler Lake or the Mississippi River or someplace like that, and they get into some really big fish. Well, I'm not going to catch those fish at the Lake of the Ozarks, so I want numbers. I don't want weights because if not, then I got to drive 3.5 hours to get to either the Missouri or the Mississippi River. Which, if it's a weight tournament, that's what I'd have to do. But numbers tournament work better for me because then I don't have so far to go. I can just go up to Truman or Lake Ozark and work on the
Baldwin.
Yep.
The Baldwin rule on Chad's tournaments.
That Baldwin Lake is amazing fishery. If you want to catch the numbers of fish, that's a great place to do it, man. It really is. That thing is jam-packed full of blue cats and channels.
Yeah. And bass.
And bass.
Lots of bass. Ask Jerry Parker.
Yeah. He had them figured out, that's for sure.
Man, he was killing it. He just got on that rock pile and he just hammered away. How many fish had to be on there? It had to be insane.
Oh, yeah. That picture that you showed me earlier, it had to look like that.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
It did. It had to look like that. Because they don't just, although they do just keep coming into places like that, the way he was catching, you think you'd eventually run out of some of them. But he didn't.
Josh says, Baldwin giveth and Baldwin taketh away.
It sure will. It sure will. But it's a fun lake to fish. It's not real big, but it's fun. I know when I went over and fished and Josh took me out, we had a blast. We really did.
Hey, there's our buddy Dawson fishing with squirrel.
Hey, Dawson, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you in here tonight.
Dawson, check out my community tab. We can talk later. Email me. So you going to do anything this weekend? You doing any fishing, Clutch?
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna be thinking about taking Friday off and having, an extra fishing day since I kind of worked a little bit. I think I worked 13 hours today.
Nice.
So yeah, I think I need a break. Well, the luckily thing is my in-laws, they have their own little private giddy up, but it ain't really such a big pond where I can get my boat onto it. But I could always hit the private pond and go catch about 4 or 5 pound largemouth just
No,
back to
ain't nothing
back.
wrong with that.
So that's probably what I'm gonna do Friday to get the stress off, and then on Saturday or Sunday, I'm probably gonna head out to the local lake and start dialing in on some of the beds out here because we're starting to enter into pre-spawn over here.
Very nice.
Danny, it's not a 1v1 tournament. It's just I'm just using that email because that's a spare email I had set up that I used for my 1v1 tournaments. So I just figured I would reuse it. So it's a numbers tournament. It's a series. Top 2 get advanced to the championship, each one of 4 events. So, and you can enter as many times as you like unless you get in. So,
And Danny Stone, you can enter also.
and if we have more than 8 people, we're gonna go to the wheel.
Yep. Crappie and bluegill numbers tournament. That is correct.
Maybe Dawson wants to get in on a fun too.
Yeah.
Fishing with squirrel.
Love to have him.
I'm still waiting for Josh to schedule his second bass tournament to see who goes to the championship still.
Well, it's coming up. I forgot. Has he set a date for that? I don't think he has.
I done that. That's why I've been trying to keep an eye out on his YouTube for it, and I haven't seen it. And I've just been waiting for it because I'm kind of a little anxious on who's all coming with me.
Danny says, Crappie, no thanks. I'll get my bud handed to me. It's any panfish. You can go get some bluegill. There you go.
Bluegill, which includes green sunfish or warmouth or anything like that.
Go get some of them red ears. Those add up quick.
Yeah, and they're fun to catch too.
Oh yeah.
They are fun to catch. It's going to happen as soon as I get this dumb Denver trip out of the way. Makes sense to me. I know he's not looking forward to that Denver trip, but
See, look at that fishing with squirrel putting the pressure on Danny. It'll be
that's
good to
right.
him.
Come on, Danny. Dawson, you might as well enter it too. I seen you catch crappie. I know you know how to do it.
Or bluegill, anything.
Yeah, he catch fish.
He did ask for some rules, so just let us know through Facebook. I'll get you a copy of those rules to you.
Absolutely.
And they are listed on the Panfish Nation page too as well.
Get you all in there and get it done. It would be very enjoyable to go to that wheel and see if Mike Greenwell can win out on one.
While we're finishing this up here, I want to let people enter to win that Fraternal Order of Catfishing Deplorable stickers. Are you giving just one away, Lyle, or are we going to do a couple?
No, let's do a couple. Yeah, we'll do a couple.
Okay, we'll do 2 stickers. If you want to get entered to win one of them cool stickers, which I have, which I need to put on my boat before Mendota, definitely.
Absolutely. If not, Josh will help you with stickers when you get there.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I have to watch my back that week.
And other things too.
Exactly. What do you think I was talking about my back?
Yep.
Enter in hashtag sticker, lowercase, uppercase, it don't matter. It'll enter it in there. People are starting to get registered. So
Danny says, I catch 3-inch greenies. That doesn't matter. It's numbers, not size, my friend. Just go ahead and jump in there. There's Jen Smith.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
3-inch greenies would be perfect. Just catch about 100 of them.
I had a place where I could have done that, and they went and killed them all off, Lyle.
I'm so shocked at what Betty told us about the place she used to go out and catch those gigantic bluegill out in one of the Carolinas. I don't remember which one. But the guy sold the place, and now it's completely gone. The pond's not even there, is my understanding. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. I got an idea who it might have been, even if it wasn't you. Crappie Kev, what's going on, Crappie Kev? How you doing? If you want to get entered win a fraternal or
Union of
union
Catfish
of
Deplorables.
catfish deplorables, I almost entered that in as the hashtag, Lyle, and it didn't look right, so I just put sticker.
That works for me. That works for me. Need to start giving away some. Josh sent me a whole bunch of these. They're kind of cool. It's a fun thing, you know. We'll drop one in the mail to the winner tomorrow morning. So if you do happen to win, just message me your mailing address and I'll get that right out. Have a spot little stamps right in my drawer.
You can message Lyle through Facebook, or if you want don't have Facebook and you want to message him through email, it's catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, if I'm not
That
mistaken.
that is correct. That is correct. It's not like you don't send me emails, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, even Betty got in here.
There you go. Tall Betty. Her and Brandon's been doing the walking and doing the. I'm so proud of her and you too. You guys both quit smoking.
We did.
And you guys are doing really good. I'm on my 4th year not smoking, and there's nobody that smoked more than me. I don't believe. If there was, I needed to shake their hand because they was way too much. But Betty and Brandon both quit. You've quit, and that's awesome. It's good for you.
It was rough today out on the boat. That's kind of a rough part. On the boat and driving's pretty hard. But when we go on our trip, I'm going to bring some cigars. That's going to be my vice during the trip.
I love cigars, but the guys say, "Well, you don't inhale cigars." The hell, you don't. Just like a cigarette, you just smoke them right on down.
My dad quit smoking Winston's and picked up them Black and Milds right after that.
Those things stink.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
They stink.
Evan said Betty will win if she's entered in the tournament. I don't think she is she?
I don't know. We gotta guilt her into it.
I think we should. I think she should enter. D2. Chad, but D needs to be in it.
Matt, want to be outdoors, should be in it. We do allow fly fishing, right, Lyle?
Oh, it was Matt that said that. I'm sorry. Do what now?
Well, Matt hasn't entered either. He needs to get in on this.
Matt catches a lot of fish. He does a lot of fly rod fishing. So yeah, he could go out and hit a day catching bluegills on flies and just go crazy. And he's got some good water down there to catch them in too. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Well,
and David from Double Hook Angler. I'm sorry, David. He can get in there, and your son can get in on it as well too. It'd be great for the whole family.
Yep, crappie and bluegill, which any sunfish, but that's all you can count. So be a good time to get in there.
Look at that, Crappie Kev caught a citation yesterday. Congratulations.
I would like to know what that means because in different areas, citation means different things. I know it's size, or it's usually size of the fish. I don't. Mm-hmm. Does Illinois have citations?
They do. They got a couple of tournaments, or not tournaments, but a couple of categories. They got like master angler and stuff like that.
Well, that's what we have, but it's not citation. They don't call it that in Missouri, but it may be the same thing. I know Dockery actually. He's actually got some. He actually holds some state records.
He does.
Yeah, more than one. But that's pretty cool.
All right, Lyle, what do you say we spin this wheel?
Let's do it. And
we're going to spin this twice. Giving away 2 stickers.
I'll get my pen out and write the names down on the back of them.
Danny Stone Outdoors is the first winner.
Danny Stone gets that one.
And I like the way David thinks. He says, you can fish and hurt just as well as you can watching TV and hurt. So might as well fish and hurt.
That's right.
All right. You got Danny Stone written down. We'll do
Got
this
him.
one more time. And here we go for the second sticker. Let's see who wins this one. Hey, Crappie Day Fish on. Congratulations. So, in order to get the sticker mailed to you, contact Lyle, whether it's through Facebook or email. Email is catfishweeklytv@gmail.com. Tell him you're the winner, and include your shipping address, and he'll get those stickers out to you.
Yep, I got to have the address. We won't make it. Clutch, thank you so much for joining us
No
tonight.
problem.
We had
Thank
a
you guys
blast
so
having
much.
you on here, and maybe we'll get to do this again one of these days, and you tell us how your tournament went.
And good luck
Yeah.
with your tournament. So we look
Absolutely.
forward to
Thank you
hearing
guys.
about it.
All right.
Anything else, Lyle?
I'm good, man. But he's gone. I don't have anything to close out with tonight, Mark. I just want to tell everybody that we'll be here next Thursday night right after the bait shop. And don't forget to check in Monday night for Catfish Weekly at 7 Central Time.
And the Catfish and Crappie podcast
Right
afterwards.
after. That's right. And if you haven't entered, go ahead and do that. Mark would like to have you. He wants to host a big one, and we'd love to go to Greenville.
I definitely would. Also, if you got any events or anything you want to talk about, whether it's on Panfish Nation or Catfish and Crappie podcast, let us know. Contact us. We're always looking for guests and stuff. If you have any ideas for guests or people you want to see on our shows, we're more than happy to take the input. So,
And we'd like to thank Josh, the weekend angler, for heading us into Clutch to have him on as a guest tonight, because he's a very bright, talented young man, done some wonderful things for the sport, and them's the kind of people we like to help out. So there you go.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having a good show tonight. We appreciate you being on here with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on here every week with you. Thanks to everybody in chat for being great people to have along for the ride. So,
And we'll be back next Thursday.
all right. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.